So we're going to Knott's Berry Farm. I've always hated ending sentences with "it's gonna be a good time," but I really do feel like it's gonna be a good time. Hey everyone. So I sort of half promised a beach episode for a vlog. When we actually got to the beach, I realized how sort of impractical that was. There are lots of people at the beach, and when I was at the beach, even with Pacific Crest members, there were a lot of people that I had just met, and I sort of had a second where after I got there and I realized how many people were coming, I pieced together just the reality of how weird it is to be holding up a camera at people who are in swimsuits at a beach. And I just generally didn't think that that was a good impression for people that I was seeing in person for the first time, as well as people who I had hung out with just 12 hours ago. So I didn't film a whole lot at the beach. There were a few moments that I did capture on camera, like when we first got there, when we were playing spike ball, and my favorite part, actually seeing the sunset on the west coast, which one of my favorite things in the world is seeing the colors in the sky when the sun is setting, and seeing that in a new perspective was really captivating. But at the same time, I recognize that that's probably not enough to make a full episode. I did have a lot of fun though. It was generally a day well spent. There were a few things that I felt could have gone better. I ended up having to take a ride halfway home before calling a Lyft to get the rest of the ride home. Gas is a little bit more expensive in the West Coast than it is on the East Coast, so my Uber was a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. Also, the distance was longer than I thought it was going to be, so I did spend a good amount of money on transportation alone. When I got back to this house and I realized just how much my clothes were starting to smell, and I opened up my drawers and realized this was the last clean shirt that I had, I also knew I had to do laundry, and this is the first time I'm doing laundry since being at home. There's that, and then I also have been spending most of the last 2 days full of energy in the hot sun. I'm quite sunburnt right now. And then also just my social meter is almost completely drained. I spent quite a bit of money and other minor factors here and there. I think that there's just a lot going on right now. And what I need to do is just take a second to be by myself, inhale, exhale, and recognize where I am right now. A lot of that being mindful stuff. I said it once, I'll say it again, I'll probably be saying it more in this series. I'm very fortunate to be where I am right now and to have this experience that I can actually share. But honestly, it feels a little exhausting right now. This is my first time trying to capture so many moments over such a long period of time in something that I can call a video series or a vlog. And this is vlogging something really personal. This is vlogging the drum corps experience that I have been craving since I was a freshman in high school. And 8 years later, I can promise you that this is not what I expected it to be on its own. Now add in the fact that I'm vlogging it, and that makes everything a whole world different. It is a little bit draining, and I think that this video is a way for me to get that out of my system now so that I can promise myself I'm gonna act better for myself and for others. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the people that I'm spending my time with, nor the activities that I'm doing. I think I'm just a little bit drained right now. And I think that I'm feeling homesick. I'm feeling like home could be my life at home where I grew up. It could be being at college, it could be being with my friends that I've known for a while. It could be a number of things. I think that I was very much excited to be here, and I still am. I think that I'm gonna do my best to make sure everything that I do here is something that I can remember well and remember in good light. But that 0 to 100 so far away from home kind of makes me miss being in the East Coast. And I'm not usually one to cry. I'm not usually one to let out emotions. I'm usually one to talk a lot, so this kind of helps a little bit, I think. This smaller episode in the middle, I think, is gonna act as another bridge between the content before and the content after, as opposed to being something much grander. I spent all of last week sitting at a table and editing the videos of me coming to California, and all of a sudden, in a matter of 2 days, it was like hell broke loose. So I don't think I'm necessarily asking for any different response from an audience to this video, nor am I asking for any sympathy of any kind. I think that this is just going to be a medium for myself to vent out these emotions, as I mentioned earlier. The Dodgers game is tomorrow, so that means I'm gonna be going into Los Angeles, which I should have done when I first got here, but that didn't go as quite as well as expected. I've got 2 all-day rehearsals that make up the weekend before I have a whole week to myself to quarantine, followed by move-ins. And judging by the way that I actually filmed my first day of rehearsal, as well as how I'm going to film this weekend rehearsal, I think I'm gonna get a better sense of how much I can actually film for the upcoming episodes, how many there's going to be before we actually maybe leave for Indy or have our performances in California. I really knew that this was going to be subject to change in almost every element when I first started the series, but I guess I didn't really take into consideration my own well-being and my own emotions. So I'm gonna do my best to stay elevated, stay mindful, and work to make this core as great as possible for both myself and the other members. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace. I'm gonna be taking the San Bernardino line from Rancho Cucamonga into LA Union. From there, I'm gonna be picked up, and we're gonna be going to the Dodgers game tonight. Did it really die? Whoa! Whoa!